Spiritual genocide. Sounds so fun, doesn't it? It actually kind of does. I mean, we have vision quests, we have spirit walks, we have this and that and all the others that involve the spirit and walking and visions and hallucinogenic drugs and Indians and all this other malarkey. Spiritual genocide. Why not just eliminate stuff? Let's just find a bunch of spirits like we're the Ghostbusters and just kill them. Oh wait, we're talking about music here. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. Spiritual Genocide by Destruction, their 12th studio album. 12! 12! It's one fewer than Megadeth. You know how I know that? Because their last album was called 13. But yeah, Destruction, one of the premier and probably one of the best known bands of the Teutonic thrash metal scene from over in Germany. Another one of those being the mighty Creator, who is going to be a tough act to beat this year. Yeah, even here in December. So yeah, Spiritual Genocide by Destruction once again showcases this band's ability to write monumental riffs. And it's something that begins right with the opening, right with the introduction. The one thing that gets us started right before we even get into music and lyrics themselves. It's still able to build that atmosphere, and that's something that brings a lot of excitement out. It brings a lot of anticipation out. And then you actually get to the music and you realize that Destruction has actually taken a cue from Creator. Destruction has actually taken a visual, a mental, and an auditory cue from Creator. Probably. Maybe. I'm just saying this because I have never heard this band sound this pissed off in quite some time. And I like it. It's a nice change. I like the fact that these bands are coming out of the woodwork literally and writing just scathing albums, just screaming, angry, just pissed off albums. Is it because I am secretly pissed off on the inside all the time and I need an outlet to vent? Am I really just a thrash metal emo kid? Absolutely goddamn not. I love the hate. I embrace the hate. I love the fact that these bands are able to do this and able to accomplish this, especially here in 2012, where there's a lot of things to be angry about, where there's a lot of things to really throw your passion and your energy in. And if that energy happens to be in the form of really, really scalding words, words that literally burn you right whenever they leave their lips and hear or reach your ears, then they're doing something right. They're doing something that's actually going to potentially make a difference. Because if somebody's yelling at you, if somebody's telling you just how fucked up things are, chances are you're going to listen. And chances are you might not always agree. But chances are you are going to understand and realize that, well, people see things just a little bit differently. And perhaps it's time for a revolution. Once again, I'm off the topic of the music. Not much really needs to be said, though. Destruction is a band that's been able to do this thrash game and do it pretty damn well ever since the 1980s. In fact, the earliest incantation of the band was, well, 1982. Long fucking time. I know. I understand. Stay with me. Throughout this album, they're basically showcasing to you that it doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter that they're reaching potentially their 30th birthday. That they can still write albums that have that same angst, that same anger, that same absolute kick-in-your-ass syndrome that each and every one of the previous ones have had, only dialed up a little bit more. And let's just be honest for a second. This band has every goddamn reason in the world to have a lot of anger in their systems. Perhaps not ever since the first part of the 2000s, but in the 1990s, they were basically self-releasing everything that they were recording. They didn't have a deal. They had to do it themselves before bands did it themselves. Once they were signed to Nuclear Blast, I can guarantee you that they vowed that that was never going to happen again unless things got completely and totally fucked. And ever since then, they have sounded just as agitated and pissed off as ever. The riffs are heavy. They're huge, they're big, they're boombastic. They definitely make your bones crinkle a little bit. The vocals definitely have that shrill aspect. There's an honesty to them that is very difficult to be replicated. However, it has been. I'm not going to say by who, because you can probably guess. There is also a sense of legend to these guys. There's a sense of undying pride to their fans. There's a sense of survival that is definitely within not only the music, but also within the fan base. The music, however, is able to bring it out into a whole new spectrum, a whole new universe, so to speak, showcasing that this is a band that has toiled through just about everything in order to be one of the best bands of thrash metal that is not from the United States. And they've definitely showcased that throughout the years. They've showcased that they themselves are one of the forgotten gems, but they are one of the big gems of Teutonic thrash. This album, Spiritual Genocide, needs no further introduction than that. You need no other reason in order to truly listen to this record aside from the history that is embroidered within, based around who these guys are. And you have absolutely no other reason, aside from this, to listen to this record, aside from the fact that thrash metal, and thrash metal from Germany right now, is definitely something that's once again on the rise, if it ever left at all. This is a great album. I definitely enjoyed this listen, and it's one of those things that never gets old. It's one of those albums that whenever it ends, you kind of just want to go back to track number 1 and throw it on again. It's one of those albums that definitely has an awesome replayability, and it's one of those albums that will certainly get a lot of replayability. I'm not sure whenever this album's coming to America, and quite frankly, I'm a little bit agitated about that. But with this modern technology thing that we have, I think it's called the intraweb, I think there's a good chance that I'll be able to find one, you know, and have someone from over there ship it to me. If they like me, that is. If you guys like me? Like me enough to ship me a copy of this album? That'd be terrific. Leave me a personal message. What do you guys think of this record? Have you heard it yet? Why haven't you? If you have heard it, what do you think? Comments now.